Hey, it's Fletch. I'm Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. This is an audio version of my latest blog, A Picture is Worth 1,000 Lives. While most 911 centers answer the phone with 911, where's your emergency? The other most common phrase is 911, what's your emergency? Now, putting aside the debate of which is more important, where or what, as depending on the agency, a strong case can exist for either. The fact of the matter is that we should utilize technology to answer both questions automatically or provide guidance in the answer. With the lion's share of 911 sessions arriving at PSAPs from cellular devices, 85% or more in most cases, and the bulk of those devices being intelligent smartphones that are capable of reporting explicit location accuracy down to a few meters, it's fair to say that the priority is gradually moving towards what, as where is becoming less and less of an unknown parameter. Now, certainly, there are use cases where an individual is calling on behalf of another person, or someone is calling about an incident that occurred in the past where they no longer are, but just for the sake of argument, I think that we can all agree that technology is doing its part to mitigate or at least reduce the question of where. Now, I can't help but thinking back to a day a few years ago when I was heading into New York City for a meeting downtown. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I was at the Hoboken, New Jersey Transit rail station, where I was going to catch the path into the city. Now, it was well past rush hour, and the station was pretty much deserted. And while walking by one of the automatic ticket machines, I noticed a very suspicious suitcase tucked away next to one of the machines, where in just an hour or so, the lunch hour rush crowd would have that station full of commuters and passengers. I immediately thought about the popular tagline, if you see something, say something. And considering the potential severity of the situation, I felt this warranted a call to 911. The very first issue that I ran into was that the 911 call taker didn't understand clearly what my location was, nor was I sure myself. You see, the New Jersey Transit Hoboken station has several entrances, and the one closest to me was more of an access door and not an entrance. In order for me to figure out where I was, I had to walk outside of the building and explain to the dispatcher what I saw. Now, back then, the cell phone location was fairly primitive, which really was not that accurate at that time. Eventually, I was able to get the call taker to understand where I was, and they dispatched a patrol unit to my location. After about 10 minutes, a New Jersey Transit police officer arrived, and I accompanied him back into the building to show him the suspicious package. Now, the instant the officer set eyes on it, his whole attitude changed in an instant. He grabbed my arm and sternly said, "Hold on, get outside now." And then he grabbed his radio and called for a canine unit to respond, as his assessment and experience told him that this was probably not normal and needed to be investigated further. Now, after a quick check that no one else was in the area and a call to the staff in the facility to block off access to the area, we went back outside and waited for canine to arrive, which took about another 15 minutes. Now, when K9 got there, they deployed into the building, and I got to watch from a safe distance. The dog didn't react at all, and almost immediately, the team called back that everything was clear. And upon opening up the suitcase, it was obvious by the contents that this was nothing more than the abandoned belongings of one of the many homeless individuals that frequented the facility in search of shelter. As I continued my trip into New York City, I thought to myself, what a great example of a picture being worth 1,000 words. Had I been able to send a picture of what I saw to 911 that had raised my suspicion, they would have seen the situation, been able to consult with a supervisor, and then most likely immediately dispatch the canine unit with the initial officers. Not only would that have shaved valuable time off the response, but canine would also be better aware of the situation, potentially hastening their response. And if the situation was one that wasn't benign, plans to activate an evacuation plan and secure the area could have been implemented. And this is exactly why we built the battleship mode into the 911 Inform emergency response platform. It's more than just a 911 solution. Battleship mode overlays a coordinated grid over the geofenced location and indicates resources, or in this case, hazards. Once marked on the grid, an affected danger area is clearly outlined based on standard blast radius information, and a designated danger zone can be marked for evacuations. As rooms and areas are cleared, field response units can radio back to the command and control point, who can then mark areas as clear or safe. Any field response unit has available to them the live floor plans on their smart device and is immediately made aware visually of any changes in the situational readiness during the incident, meaning they can see in real time what areas have been cleared. Now, once command and control closes the incident, any data that's been shared with any device is immediately wiped clean, with nothing stored locally. This clean slate capability was in direct response to agencies concerned about making personal devices discoverable in a court of law after an incident occurred. At the end, that was an excellent lesson to all, and I look back at the value of an enterprise team being coordinated and part of a response plan by being able to receive information about 911 call events that occur inside their geofenced facility. Events that originate from enterprise telephones are easily captured and reported, but now that same functionality can be extended to incidents that originate from personal cell phones that are within the geofence. And that functionality is provided without any special software on the cell phone or any registration by the user. The notification is provided directly from the Rapid SOS Next Gen 911 clearinghouse, which then gets plotted on a floor plan and mapped, making enterprise response teams aware using our new reverse notification functionality. Making every second count is what we strive for at 911 Inform, and when put in the right context, a picture can be worth not only 1,000 words, but several saved lives. This is Fletch, Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform. Thanks so much for listening. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Fletch911, and be sure to check out the rest of my blogs at www.fletch.tv. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.